Hey there, it's Barbara here, your favorite longtime professional home care personal support worker, union steward, and certified member and co-chair of a joint health and safety committee. This video is going to be for everyone, and it is about the latest scourge to rear its ugly head. It's a disease they once called consumption, but nowadays it's known as tuberculosis, or TB for short. It's happening in Kansas right now. They've said there are 67 active cases. They don't say anything about the latent cases. Those are the ones where you have the bacteria, but it's not affecting you. And they have 384 people they are managing for TB testing and treatment. This is 2025. I've pulled up some things here because as much as I know a lot, I don't know everything. So first off, we have basic information. It's airborne, and prolonged exposure is usually what starts the ball rolling. It occurs most commonly in Aboriginal people and foreign-born populations. In 2022 in Canada, there were 1,971 cases. People born outside Canada and Indigenous peoples made up most of the numbers. Percentages. 76.2 cases of active TB were reported in people born outside of Canada. 23.8% were reported among persons within Canada. Among those in Canada, 18.1 were reported in Indigenous peoples, and 3.5 were reported in non-Indigenous people. Our rate of TB is among the lowest in the world. In 2022, it was 5.1 people among 100,000. The rates are higher among the Inuit, 136.7 among 100,000. First Nation is 21.4 per 100,000. People born outside of Canada is 14.4 per 100,000. It starts with a cough that can last up to 2 weeks. You may cough up blood, phlegm, thick phlegm, chest pain, fever, weight loss, lack of appetite, chills, night sweats. Now, it does primarily affect the lungs, but it can also affect your brain, your spine, your kidneys, bones, lymph nodes. Now, 90% of the people who become infected with it do not come down with the disease. They call that latent. They don't feel sick, they don't have symptoms, and they do not spread it. If you have any symptoms and think you may have been exposed to TB, by all means, go to a healthcare provider. Now, how they diagnose it is, and I had this test done 13 years ago when I started up with my employer, they inject a little bit of the inactive protein under your skin, and then they wait a couple of days to see if there's a reaction. If there isn't, you're fine. If there is, you go for further testing, which an x-ray would be included in that as well, and testing of some of your phlegm. Treatment, antibiotics. And as with any antibiotic, keep taking it. If you're sick and you start to feel better, still keep taking it. If you don't, that's how you get superbugs. Now, here's the thing. Up until the early 70s, they were still giving it to children in Quebec. But since then in Canada, they're not regularly immunizing except for certain groups. That would be the Indigenous population and people from outside of the country. I think they should probably revisit that policy given the state of things in Kansas right now. Yes, the outbreak is in Kansas, but with travel now, these things can spread. Just like the measles when it came in on that child that came in from India to Ontario in March. Yeah, so be vigilant, take care of yourself, wear masks, don't touch your face when you're out in public until you can wash your hands. Carry sanitizer with you all the time because it's the next best thing if you cannot wash your hands. Just know that sanitizer does not work on the noroviruses. Those are the gastrointestinal things. So I'm going to go now. I'd like you all to stay healthy, stay safe, stay vigilant, and I'll see you on the flip side.